Okay. Today we're going to talk about the slope-intercept form again, because we have we heard and we studied a little bit about the slope-intercept form, but what I want to show is more of a curiosity about slope-intercept form. And we know that the equation, the slope-intercept form, it looks like this, right? Y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. And that's the reason this equation here has these names: the slope, m, and the intercept, the y-intercept form of a line. This is the reason. And I'm going to show you a curiosity, something that you don't need to memorize, or even is something that is just for it's more like a curious. I think it's curious and interesting. You might not agree with me, but I think it's interesting, because I will show you how we derive, how we come up, how this formula here was generated. And we have this is the slope-intercept form, very important, especially later when we talk about functions. We're going to work with functions. But no worries, Randy. You're here. That's good. And do you remember this formula here? M is slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Do you remember this? This is the slope formula. Remember, we've been using this. I'm going to show you that the slope-intercept form derives from this formula here, the slope formula. Okay, and to do that, what I'm going to do? First, I'm going to represent here a line. Let's say this is a line, an equation, an equation, and the slope in the intercept, the y-intercept, is this point here, right? This is the y-intercept. The coordinates of the y-intercept, the coordinate of y-intercept is this, 0 and b. Those are the coordinates of the y-intercept. And I want to find an equation for this line. This is a generic line, any line. I need 2 points. This is going to be point 1, the y-intercept, and let's say this one here is going to be point 2. Let's call this point 2. The coordinates of point 2 are going to be x and y. Just a generic point, any point in the line. Let's plug in these points, point 1 and point 2, on our formula, the slope formula. M equals y2 is going to be y, minus y1 is b, over x2, and x2 is just x, minus x1 is 0. And we don't need the 0, right? This is 0. Now we can simplify and have only y in one of the sides of the equation, only y. So we're going to multiply by x both sides to simplify this denominator here, this x as a denominator. We want to simplify. And then we're going to have x times m equals y minus b. And another thing that I can do to have only y on this side is add b on both sides. And then we're going to have x times m plus b equals y. Another thing that we can do also is switch sides, right? We can switch sides. Y equals, and then we switch, and we can write x times m, we can write as m times x plus b. And check it out, this is our slope-intercept form. See? It's the same formula, the same equation, and we derive it using the slope formula. Again, this is a curiosity, this is something that I find interesting. Maybe you don't agree, you don't find it so interesting, but I find it interesting because sometimes you have just one formula and you can derive, you can find all sorts of different formulas based on only one formula. Any questions about it? Just a curiosity, just for you to understand that this is a really interesting and important formula, the slope formula. And we're going to work a lot with this, even in the future, when we talk about functions. Yes, it's pretty useful during the SAT. That's right, Will. This is quite useful during the SATs. And since you mentioned a lot of some students, they actually say that actually the problem with the SATs is that they don't have enough time, right? No problem, Alejandro. No problem. Don't forget to open your assignment to guarantee your attendance. And some students are commenting that SATs, not that the questions are difficult or hard, but the time is too short, right? It's not enough time for too many questions. So that's one of the reasons as well that we need to practice. We need to be a little bit faster, and don't be scared of the questions. Just go over the questions and try to understand what the question is asking. And actually sometimes you get a little bit scared and the question is not so difficult, but you spend more time than you're supposed to spend because you don't find the answer so quickly in your head. Well, anyways, that's right. You're going to see a lot of things during our course that are applied to take the SATs, to work on the SATs. Pretty good. Moving on. Let's try. Let's work on let's get the bell work back here. And trying to find out, do something here. So for the bell work, if you check the graph, you're going to realize for 200 hot dogs, the price is going to be 2.75, but you also can calculate using the slope formula. The answer is going to be the same. The answer is $2.75. What you need to do on the quiz is to write the equations in the slope-intercept form. And we know now, we can remember that the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. This is the slope-intercept form, right? And let's start with letter A. Let's see what we're supposed to do with letter A. So letter A. We have this equation here, negative 3y equals 5x minus 36. Okay. And we want to change the equation. We want to make the equation look like this. The slope-intercept form. And what we have to do is actually move everything to the right-hand side of the equation and keep only y on the left-hand side. Okay, just keep y on the left-hand side. That's right, Aliyah. But it's not fair. You have seen this on the bell, on the Tiger Time. But you already know how to work this out. You need to have only y, right? Only y on the left-hand side. And this is bothering me because you have negative 3, and this negative 3 is annoying me because I don't want it here. I don't want negative 3y, I just want y. So let's divide. Let's divide both sides. Let's divide both sides by negative 3. So I can get rid of this. Let's get rid of this negative 3, right? And now I'm happy because I have only y. 5 divided by negative 3, negative 5 over 3. I cannot simplify, that's it. And pay attention, negative 36 divided by negative 3, you can have negative and negative positive. And if you're not sure, you can use a calculator. 36 divided by 3, 12. This is going to be the result. Y equals negative 5 over 3 x plus 12. Okay? This is for A, and the same thing you have to do for B, C, all the other questions, all the other equations, all the other letters. It's going to be the same thing. You have to isolate, you have to change the equation and make sure that you have only y on the left hand side of the equation. I will give you a few minutes to work on all the letters. So after a couple of minutes, let me know if you need help. Let me know which letter, which question you want me to help you, and you want to work together here on the screen, okay? All right, let's go, let's work, and let me know if you need help. For L, we're going to have this equation here. Let me move this a little bit more. Yeah. Negative 6x plus 12y equals 6. And again, that's the whole point, the whole objective of this questions is to get rid of everything that's not y and only keep on the left hand side of the equation the y alone by itself, nothing else. And the first thing that's annoying me, that's bothering me, that is actually making a mess here is this negative 6x. We don't want it. So subtract on both sides, add on both sides 6x, so you can simplify. To simplify here, you're going to have 0 plus 12y equals 6x plus 6, right? Now, that's another thing that's annoying, that's bothering, and this 0 we can just remove, we don't need it. It's the 12 in front of y. We don't want this 12, actually, don't want this 12. We want to get rid of this 12. And what we will do is divide both sides by 12. You're going to divide both sides by 12, then you're going to find 12 divided by 12, simplify, is 1, y equals 6 divided by 12 is 1 over 2, right, x, plus 6 divided by 12, again, 1 over 2. This is going to be the answer. You can write this as the same, is right answer as well, it's not wrong. X over 2 plus 1 over 2 is the same thing, it's the right answer. Both answers are correct. Oops. What about G? Yes, let's work on G. We're gonna work down here. Look, I make some space. Now we're gonna work here. Okay. G. 1 over 2 x minus 1 over 4 y equals 11. L, it's here. You can both ways, both answers are right. Y equals x over 2 plus 1 over 2. Great. And I can do it like this, yes. G, 1 over 2x minus 1 over 4y equals 11. Again, Only y, I don't want anything else. I want to keep only y on the left hand side. So get rid of this. Subtract 1 over 2x on both sides. Subtract 1 over 2x on both sides to get rid of this 1 over 2x that's here bothering me. Okay? So negative 1 over 4y equals negative 1 over 2x plus 11. And now there's this negative 1 over 2, over 4, I mean, negative 1 over 4. That's bothering us because we don't want this thing here. We want to have only y. Just multiply the whole thing by negative 4. Multiply both sides of the equation by negative 4. Oh! Don't worry, I checked it out. And you're gonna have extra credit for the... I was trying to make available it for retake, but I still think it's not helping me with this. Anyways, I check your work. If you want to go, that's fine. You can stay a little bit and check your answers, but that's if you're happy. Let's multiply here. Negative 4 multiply by negative 1 over 4. 4 divided by 4, 1. Negative with negative positive, so you have only y. Now you're happy. Now you're going to be happy because you just have y on the left hand side. This is what we want, right? And multiplying here by negative 4. Negative 4. Negative with negative positive. 4 divided by 2 is a 2. X plus, not plus. Negative with positive, negative. 4 multiplied by 11 is 44. So this is the result for G. Have a good day, Kalia. So this is G. Now we have here on the screen